Hello there, or should I say, howdy partner? By the lack of dust on your shoes, I can tell you're new to Thunder Junction. So how about you sit down, buy me a drink and let me tell you a story. Say, have you heard of a rogue that is blue and red? She had power 2 and toughness 4, and the notches on her pistol numbered 1 and 19 more. See, many men have tried to beat her, and that many men were dead. Oh, they might have went on living, but they made one fatal slip when they tried to match the Easy Combo commander with the bigger hand on her hip. Stella is a blue and red rogue with two interesting abilities. The first triggers whenever we cast our second spell each turn and exiles the top card of our library, and lets us play it until the end of our next turn. The second is an activated ability, where she taps and copies an instant and sorcery spell we control, with the caveat that we can only activate it if we have cast at least 3 spells this turn. As you see, both of those abilities provide excellent value, with the first being essentially free card advantage and the second having even higher potential value. But we do not do value here. Instead, as a true combo tryhard, I want to win with the most overpowered cards known to Magic. Prodigal Sorcerer. So how do we achieve this? Our Prodigal Master of Magic needs to tap in order to deal damage. And just so happens that our commander also has a tap ability that lets us copy an instant and sorcery spell we own. An even bigger coincidence occurs when we cast 2 cantrips and follow them up with an untapped spell like Triton Tactics as the third. While it is on the stack, we tap Prodigal Sorcerer to deal 1 damage to an opponent. Then tap Stella to copy Triton Tactics. The copy resolves and untaps both creatures. This reloads our magical revolvers, and we simply rinse and repeat. The word of the day is redundancy, however, for we also run a lot of backup combo pieces that are also very much on theme. Those include Fellow Gunslingers, Prodigal Pyromancer, Zuron Spellcaster, Thornwind Fairies, and Woodwater Hunter. Cunning Sparkmage, Volshock Sorcerer, and Vitian Stinger can also come down with haste, thus lessening our setup requirements. Our Cowboys can untap themselves and be used multiple times in a turn, such as Gallectrode, Cinder Pyromancer, Temo Alchemist, Unruly Catapult, and the first among equals, Goblin Sharpshooter, whose rifle can be loaded with poison-tipped bullets thanks to Gorgon Head, Gorgon Flail, and Basilisk Collar, for an easy board wipe / soft lock. In order to be the fastest draw in the Junction, we also run Crushing Drawbridge, Thousand Year Elixir, Lightning Greaves, Swiftfoot Boots, and my new favorite land, Hole of the Bandit Lord. Moving towards the Spellslinger component of the deck, let's first cover 3 other untapped effects: Dramatic Reversal, Reality Spasm, and Turnabout, which can also be used both in the combo and as value plays. Speaking of value, I also run quite a few recursion pieces, most of which even allow us to win when we cast them, if we have at least 1 untapped spell in the yard. Those include Volcanic Vision, which also doubles as a board wipe, Mystic Sanctuary, and of course my favorite, Past in Flames. Now the spice: Finale of Promise, Mizzix's Mastery, Spelltwine, and Invoke Calamity. Those 4 cards are the real MVPs in the deck, since Stella Lee's second ability requires 3 spells to be cast, and those mentioned above instantly fulfill this condition. A few things of note: those spells still require setup, where we have both an untapped spell and at least 1 other instant or sorcery card in the yard, and work with all untapped spells except Reality Spasm. Granted, this setup shouldn't be exceptionally hard to do, since we run a large package of cantrips that draw and discard a lot of cards, such as Faithless Looting, Faithless Salvaging, and Highway Robbery, Big Score, Pirate's Pillage, and Unexpected Windfall, as well as Seize the Spoils, Prismatic Command, and Frantic Search. I also run the cycle first for Discovery, first for Meaning, and first for Knowledge, with the last cantrip being Free of Possibility, For interactions, I mainly run counterspells. Arcane Denial, Counterspell, Dispel, Negate, Memory Lapse, and Test of Talents, as well as Blasphemous Act and Vandal Blast for mass removal. With so many spells being cast, it is normal to also run some other synergy, and for that I chose to include a token maker package, consisting of Puppet Stitcher, Third Path Iconoclast, Young Pyromancer, and the new Garrow of the Fleshwright, which I hope will not be too expensive when the set comes out. Compared to the rest, he does have a few hoops and restrictions, but the ceiling is quite large, and in certain situations, the tokens can grow to be very large. On the mana front, I am focused predominantly on ramp cards that can produce colored mana, with the obvious exception of Soul Ring. Those include Arcane Signet, Cold Steel Heart, Izzet Signet, Sky Diamond, Fire Diamond, Star Compass, and Talisman of Creativity. This segment includes two seemingly odd choices. The first is Search for Ascanta, and I include it here because in most cases it will be able to flip really quick, and when we can we should flip it and transform it into a land that ramps us and can also be used to dig deeper in the deck instead of simply surveil one each turn. The other is Stormkiln Artist. The synergy with our Spellslinger strategy cannot be overstated, and the potential to either chain off multiple spells by using the treasures as discount, or to save them for a later turn is amazing. For lands I chose some obvious suspects, such as Blast Zone and Demolition Field for some extra control, Castle Vantress, Mystic Sanctuary and Reliquary Tower for utility, Thundering Falls and Conduit Pylons for surveil, Desolate Lighthouse and Gaia Reach Sanitarium for looting, Myriad Landscape, Coral Atoll and Izzet Boilerworks for ramp, and Fabled Passage for color fixing. The rest of the lands are Command Tower, Cascade Bluffs, Riverglade Pathway, Shivan Reef, Steam Vents, Stormcart Coast, Surfer Falls, 4 islands, and 9 mountains, for a total of 34 land cards. At the end I'll mention the deck's power level, which according to my own cookie scale amounts to a 6. Regardless, the deck is very fun to play and feels deceptively strong. And now a small channel update. I am working, or rather was working, on a mini series of 7 videos, but I had to pause for this build because I just couldn't resist an Izzet Spellslinger commander, nor the chance to make Prodigal Sorcerer great again. I hope to be able to finish the videos in a somewhat timely fashion, as half the work is already done. As always, thank you for watching. Cheers!